What dreams or goals of yours did your parents directly or indirectly sabotage, and how? I was constantly told to take an easier route. Take this class instead, it'll be easier. Play this game, it'll be easier. Learn to ride a bike, it'll be easier. On and on and on. It got to the point where I quit trying new things and started taking the safe route. Of course, the expectations never let up, so I got lectured about how I never push myself or really try. I was already doing things I hate, now I need to bust my ass at it? No thanks. Oof, this question really hit home with me. I come from a hard-working blue-collar family that always complained about money or the lack thereof. As a kid growing up, I hear all these money-centered arguments, and I promised myself that I'd make lots of money to take care of my family by having my own business. The concept of owning your own business or making money from home was lost on my family, specifically my mother. Any excitement I generated from my teens to late 20s was snuffed out by her dismissive and unsupportive attitude. It planted countless seeds of self-doubt and scrutiny that I still sometimes have to fight with to this day. I've developed, in my opinion, strange habits to keep those nagging thoughts away. Her views and opinions set my progress back by decades. Where I am now, I should have been at least 15 years ago, and I have no doubt I would be if my mom was even remotely supportive in terms of career or even education. For a time it led to a lot of resentment and outright anger. As I got older, I realized that I needed to stop seeking her approval and do what I needed to. It caused a lot of fights, but at the end of the day I made the progress I needed. Ooh, my father is a real gem. From a young age was told working a loser job for anyone other than him was a waste of time. Education was a waste of money. If I ever got married, my future wife would end up with my shit I don't have, in a divorce. When I asked about trying to buy a home, was told only stupid people tie all their money up in something that doesn't generate income. These messages, paired with no guidance, no discipline, and enabling a party lifestyle, turned quickly into a drug habit. My father regularly supplied me with drugs, alcohol, and money before I was 15. The drug use continued until I checked myself in. I supported the habit, working/stealing from my father as he cut off the supply when I turned 18. Go figure, to rehab right before 25. I still work for the family business, but I also work a second job which puts me just into middle-class income for where I live. So dreams have been taken from me, the one where I don't regret my entire life and trusting my parents to have my best interest in mind. Advice to the young working for their families: get out, have a backup plan to move on if they don't keep their promises to you. I like drawing. When I was a kid my parents didn't mind it, but around my tweens my mom came down pretty hard on how it's a waste of time and also bad, like religiously bad, in that it could be compared to idolatry. Let's not get into that can of worms. I still draw, but not as much as I would have liked. If my mom shows up while I'm drawing, I instinctively hide it as fast as I can, because to this day she still doesn't appreciate it and will always launch into her well-rehearsed spiel of why are you wasting your time drawing stupid stuff. I've never aspired to become an actual artist or anything, but fuck me for wanting to have a hobby, right? I used to play basketball in middle school. A coach from the best team in the country came over to watch us play and invited a few of us to play with their team. I was offered a free spot in that high school and a position in the team. My mother refused to let me go because she didn't think I was ready to live away from them. Nothing specifically, but they gave my sister a hell of a head start and left me to fend for myself. They found her a job, taught her how to drive, and gave her 2 cars. Meanwhile they expected me to walk several miles in 90 degrees heat with 100% humidity to get to a job. Then I had to save up to buy a car and pay for my own driving lessons. If I was given everything she was, I'd be in a much better place now. I had a chance at being an extra in a big movie, and the casting director called me to be there, but that required driving from SF to LA. I asked to borrow the car to make it to the shoot. My mother said, "No. You already have a job." She was right. I did. It was a soul-sucking, demeaning job as a civil servant, which I hated. No car, no relatives nearby, and no friends I could call for help at the time equals no way to get there. Scratch my chance at being in the movies. It really fucking hurt. My dad would say you'll never amount to anything pushing buttons. When I was playing video games or working on computers, I have a cushy job in IT and have shown him my pay stub a few times. It's more than he and my mother made in a year. I was in a band when I was a teenager. Not just some bullshit band, but one that actually did stuff. We recorded in a pro-level studio, made tapes and CDs, played all kinds of venues, got some radio play. And this was in the 90s when you really had to work for it. I wanted so badly to work either at a radio station or in a recording studio. No one understood or supported my passion. My guidance counselor literally wanted me to get a job picking up dog shit. That's what she thought of me. These days kids can take courses in audio/video production, broadcasting, etc. Right there in public school. I hope they don't take it for granted. Anyways, I moved out at 18 with a full-time job, my own insurance and apartment. Started a healthcare career at age 20. Still do music. My current band is successful and has a 10-album discography. Our records sell out quickly. I have a home recording studio where I do most of my tracking. Parents and counselors can go fuck themselves. I had plans to be the next Michael Jordan. My dad told me very young that it was never going to happen and I almost quit. But through spite and perseverance I managed to prove that a 6-foot white kid could in fact make it to a high school varsity team after being denied the first time, just like Michael Jordan. Never give up on your dreams. Olympic gymnast. Foster care ruined that one. Dude, my dad was just the opposite. Turning wrenches all the time, and I wanted to be into computers. This was the 70s, early 80s. Hell, I took a programming class when I was 13 in '77, but my dad hated computers and I didn't get a network engineering degree until 2011, and have never been able to work in that industry. I can repair cars and appliances though, but my damn body is so broke down I can barely work on my garden for more than 3 hours at a time before I have to get on ice packs. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more daily videos.